Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back of this Teardown lab. You might recognise this. This is a video I made where I said I failed, but actually I might not have failed. So happens to be today's video, but depending on when you watch that, it might not be today anymore. I completely misunderstood what this was. This device right here, if the camera will focus, I thought it was some sort of infrared remote control type thing, and you know, like you shine an infrared remote on it and the LED will flash telling you and flick a relay. But no, apparently not. Apparently this is actually some sort of infrared operated switch, so it actually transmits infrared and then receives that back, and you sort of put your hand over it or something and the relay should switch. So now, given that context, I need to hook this up again properly. Now, I can't remember at all which way the polarity was of the port here, so we're going to have a look at the manual. Say the manual, this piece of paper. Yeah, that doesn't quite help. Let's look at the circuit diagram. Jumper 2, 1 and 2. So the ground is on pin 1, and this probably is pin 1 here, so let's go with that. Yeah, now this sort of makes a lot more sense really on why you'd want to use this and how you'd use this, because there was no programming mode or anything on here, so that sort of threw me. Interestingly though, I'm just looking at this relay, they've only got 2 pins output, and there is a normally open and normally closed on this relay, so they could have had 3 outputs there for you, so you could make some use of that, but that's fine. Okay, let's get that in there. So I guess the idea is that you can use this to switch something. Like you could have it, there's a thing like, for example, in the office where we are, where it turns on the water to the urinals at a certain interval. So I guess you could use this where that you can turn on the water to the urinals when someone is starting to pee, for example. So that's how I think these are used. Just going to turn it on. So right away you heard the relay come on. Okay, so I'm going to use this white piece of paper maybe to reflect the signal from these 2. No. So I'm going to put my hand over there and I'm going to just play with this adjustment. In fact, let me just put my thumbs over there and then, did come on. So I don't know if there's like a timer thing. Maybe it's got a timer thing on it so it keeps on for a few moments, and this might be the adjustment for the time. Need a smaller screwdriver. Fortunately, there's no real way. Unless you actually know how this circuit works, you're going to have a lot of trouble. So I'm just having a quick study of it. So this is the light receiving bit, and that's the light transmitting bit. I'd have to really do some learning up, but let's try. So it sort of does something when I touch the back of it, but you don't really know how these should be located. So these might be sort of should be located on wires. Maybe they have to be pointing side by side so that you'll have a light coming out of one, bouncing off and then coming back into the other. So it's not really super conclusive at this stage. Yeah. Let's just do a quick test on that LED. So technically that LED should be putting out something. It might well be putting out a certain pulse though, and that's trying to receive a certain pulse. It doesn't get any false positives. So the LED is putting out, there's 5 volts on the LED. Oh, hang on. So I'm measuring 6.6 volts on the actual LED, and I'm measuring 5 volts on the infrared doohickey. There, you can't quite see it, it's moving up and down a bit. So what I'm going to do is just sort of have a look at the circuit diagram. Maybe that adjustment might be something to do with the threshold of the infrared. Variable resistor, where are you? So it's an R7 it looks like. Just looking at the diagram for our R7, there's R7 and there's R8 there, so there's an adjustment there. But this is just something to do with this threshold, so I think that's a timer circuit there. I think that's to do with this timing. So the bit where it's receiving is based on those two big resistors that we didn't have the correct values for, this sort of weird potential divider. So it might well just not work as expected because of that. But this thing should be operating, you know, messing with the timing. So I'm going to turn it in a bit. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. So that was 3 seconds. And I'm going to wind it out a bit and then touch that again. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6. That was 6 seconds. And then one more go. Out a bit more. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000. Whew! That's timing. So that just times how long the relay stays on for when you're having your wee, or your whittle, or whatever it's turning on. So when the cat goes past, maybe it turns on a sprayer and it sprays the cat with liquid acid. No, don't do that. So yeah, I think this is working fine. I think that the problem is those resistors that control this sort of potential divide. I think it was these two, yeah, with that infrared. So this isn't tuned now. So I'm going to look out for some appropriate sized resistors here. So if you've got it in your kit, that's the ones which are in the mega ohm range, the 10 megs and the 5 megs. I feel it requires those. So there. So it does work as much as, so it's not my fault it doesn't work, it's those resistors. But at least we figured out what it does, and it's working probably as well as it's going to work because of the receiver isn't tuned up properly. But you can see when I touch the back, it's enough to trigger it, and this timer circuit seems to work. Keep the relay on. Hope that's been of some use to you. Thank you so much those who've let me know what's going on with this and how to sort of sort it out. I really appreciate that. And we did make this mark here, so I've got my sort of sanding thing. I'm going to see if I can move it. It's only fair. Yeah, it's not really wanting to move, but let's put the tick here anyway, and we'll just pretend that tick there doesn't exist. And look, it's made a mess of my board now. It's got this a clean bit, so I have to brush that out. There we go, recovered it. But yeah, we'll agree we're not seeing that right there. Thank you so much for watching.